Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 102.3, and FM 106.5. And of course, streaming on all the major platforms, including iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, and more. Why? Because I want to splatter as much hope and happiness on you. I would like to balance out all of the bad news out there, which is so plenty, especially if you start your day watching the news or listening to the news or scrolling through the news. News is actually old. It's not the news, it's the olds. And I'm saying that because today, November 8th, is National Pun Day. So if you love laughter as much as I do, and I absolutely do, it's my favorite sound in the whole wide world, I would love for you to blame it on me if you do puns all day and get a laugh at least out of yourself, if not other people around you, because it is true. You do not stop laughing because you're growing old. You grow old because you've stopped laughing. So a pun a day will keep the doctor away. Also, it is National Cappuccino Day, which is right in line with my deliciousness of life. I don't know about you, but one of my simple delights of life is my first sip of coffee. And my goal is to make every sip feel like the first sip. And that, my friends, is a very inexpensive way to be happy pretty much all day. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for ways to be happy, easy ways, not necessarily costing a lot of money, realizing that sometimes it's the simple things. I have made unloading and loading the dishwasher into a good feeling activity, because there's something about having a clean something or having my car washed. That does cost a little money, but the feeling of having it washed, those of you who are on my social media see, I love taking video while I'm getting my car washed. By the way, I'm Doc Balance on Instagram and Dr. Marissa everywhere else. So please do join me on social media in case once a morning is not enough. It's also National Parents as Teachers Day. And I have a Happy88 challenge for you. It is as parents, and you can start this as soon as kids start going to school. And now that we're sort of bringing things back and maybe driving your kids to school. When my kids were about 4 and 6, I started this habit called gratitude in the car. And it's my version of a happy meal, gratitude sandwich. If you ask your kids to, as soon as you get out of the garage, and it becomes a habit, 3 things that they're grateful for on the way to school. And it doesn't have to be positive. You can say, I'm grateful that it's raining today if they don't like rain, or I'm grateful that I have to go to school and they're really not grateful. But just get kids in the habit of being grateful. And then when they get good at that, you can add 3 appreciations. So what do you appreciate about your mom, your sister, your brother, yourself, however many you would like to do? I did 3 because it was me, my older and younger daughter. So they knew the drill that every day, and I embarrassed the crap out of their friends or them for their friends, because their friends also would, be made to do this little exercise when we carpooled. So, but they soon began to actually enjoy it. And they would say, Dr. Mom, I appreciate that I am, oh, sorry. They would say, I appreciate that Dr. Mom is a good driver. I appreciate that Chloe's a good friend. I appreciate that Sarah's so nice. And the hardest one was always, I appreciate about myself. And that's something parents can be really good teachers at, because we don't necessarily get that taught at school. So parents, that's your Happy 88 challenge for today from Dr. Marissa. It is also National STEAM Day. So for those of you, I didn't really understand STEAM because I grew up in Canada and we didn't necessarily talk about schools that way. But STEAM or STEM Day, children are significantly better off with strong science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematical skills. And I'm so grateful. I was actually the closing keynote speaker at the annual STEAM conference just a couple weeks ago. And it was a wonderful experience. Everything was online. Thanks to Allison and Glennon for getting me there and treating me with such respect. And now they gave my audiobook away to all of the attendees if they want to download, and we're over 100 now, which is wonderful. So I am grateful that I understand what STEAM is now and STEM, and know that this hashtag COVID silver lining is, I think parents appreciate teachers more, teachers appreciate parents more, kids appreciate school more. So it is a wonderful thing that came out of the pandemic that maybe we wouldn't have been in such appreciation had we not had to do all that we had to do. It is also Cook Something Bold and Pungent Day. And I know some of you are like, where do you get this stuff, Dr. Marissa? This one's actually from the National Today calendar, so thanks to them. I love the deliciousness of life. So I would like you to try something different today. You can always, it doesn't have to be spicy, but something tasty that you always wanted to try, or maybe you smell it in your office and you turn your nose at it. Instead, find out what it is and be curious about it. I have recipes actually online. I was on the CBS show Recipe Rehab. It's a reality show that took my ancient Chinese secret fried rice recipe, that's no longer a secret, and put it into the show. And we had chefs that doctored it up, as well as spring rolls. So you can always go to Google and say, Dr. Marissa, actually put Recipe Rehab fried rice, and I should come up, or Pay Family Recipe Rehab, and it will come up there. All right. So here's an interesting piece of trivia that I sort of raised my eyebrows at when I was doing research for November 8th. The right ear of John Paul Getty III was delivered to a newspaper along with a ransom note, leading his father to pay a $2.9 million ransom. I didn't know that. Interesting. Finally, it is International Tongue Twister Day. So I'm going to do a new one that I've never heard of. It's how can a clam cram in a clean cream can? How can a clam cram in a clean cream can? I did it. And then everybody knows Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I didn't do it. And Betty Botter bought some butter. This is my favorite. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? So happy Tongue Twister Day today, the 8th of November. And you know that I love the number 8 because I know you thought I was Swedish, but I'm actually Chinese. And if you're on my YouTube, you're watching it. You can see I'm not Swedish. And 8 is a homonym for good fortune, which is why the name of my book is 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. And because it is November 8th, I'm going to give away 8 audiobook copies of 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are. Great for the holidays. So if you'd like to cut your holiday shopping short and have just a whole bunch of either audiobooks or signed copies, go to drmarissa.life. The first 8 to go and put on my contact free Asian Oprah giveaway audiobook will get that emailed with a promo code so you can download that for the Asian Oprah giveaway. And to finish up this What's Up Doc section to my show, I have a clip from my on-location interview with the CEO of one of my favorite organizations, Habitat for Humanity of Orange County, Sharon Ellis. And I got sent there by my New York news agency to cover the story. And I said, is there anybody here that can give a sound bite? Because I love your organization. And she goes, yes, I am the CEO. And I'm like, I'm so glad to meet you. And I showed her my book and I got like emotional because those of you who have seen my book, the back cover shows that my publisher, Morgan James, which is one of the reasons why I chose them over the 2 other offers I had, has a deal so that part proceeds from my book goes to Habitat for Humanity. So enjoy. Good morning, this is Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah. I'm here reporting live in Stanton with the CEO of Habitat for Humanity, and I'm so delighted because not only did I get to come and cover this event, she doesn't know this, but my book, which is a bestseller, Where the Mask is From, actually supports Habitat for Humanity. I know. I'm just so emotional because I didn't know who I was going to meet here, and I'm just so proud. Tell me what you're doing here.
Today we are doing painting. So we've got volunteers from all over Orange County, leaders in their communities painting here for the 6 homes, and hopefully they'll do a good job and we'll get more paint on the wall than we'll have on them. So, but they're off to a great start.
Oh, that's so. Now, how can people get involved?
We would love volunteers to be participating with us. If you go online, www.habitatoc.org, it'll take you to our website. We'd be delighted to find a way for you to build or find another way for you to volunteer with us. We have lots of volunteer opportunities. We don't have to know how to build.
Fantastic, fantastic. And of course, you know, the donation from the book, I'm always so proud to tell everybody because it's a wonderful organization.
It is.
All right, and this is what I do at the end of every show. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Dr. Marissa reporting live, always bringing you, balancing out all the bad news out there with good news. What's good with people, what's good with the community, what's good with organizations that are hashtag be the change. Get off your asset. Go and volunteer. Habitat for Humanity OC.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to have you here.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Please say and spell your name and let me know why you're here.
Kim Shepard, Shephed. How often do you get to get down and dirty for a good cause? Nothing like Habitat for Humanity.
Fantastic. And can anybody volunteer for Habitat?
Anytime. Anyone can be a volunteer. We love free labor.
Beautiful. And this is a housing complex for the underserved. Is that what I understand?
Yes, it is. So there's a series of teams that come in, and we all do a little piece of the work, and then families get to move into their beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage house.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'm so delighted she's going to come on my show and talk about what's happening. And please do volunteer for them. I'm on a mission to make you feel better. And one of the best ways to feel better is to help others. All right. And when we come back, today's spotlight interview is with the enigmatic and inspiring and one-of-a-kind wonderful actor Corey Feldman and his wife Courtney Feldman. When we come back, keep it here on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Impact Your Life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, CNBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere, especially on my YouTube channel, where if you free subscribe, you can get an alert every weekday morning at 8 a.m. that a new show is dropping, so you can watch and listen. As well, you can enjoy my new short film called PPP, Post-Pandemic Possibilities, as well as my red carpet playlist. Lots of wonderful and interesting interviews. Priscilla Presley, Lieutenant Uhura, and of course, Halle Berry, John Travolta, and Quincy Jones. Now, as I promised, here is my spotlight interview with really interesting and has been through a heck of a lot in his lifetime, and he's still young, Corey Feldman and his wife, Courtney. Enjoy.
I do have a very special guest that you will probably recognize from his face. He's been for decades on the big screen. He's a film icon. You may remember him from The Goonies, from Stand By Me, from The Lost Boys, from The Gremlins. I have a funny story about that if we have time. And he's now taken all of his acting and focused it on a tour. He's been through quite a bit, and I know that his life experience has chiseled him into a man who has a message, which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. So without further ado, I'd like you to welcome to the studio Corey Feldman.
Hi. How are you?
To have you here.
I'm having some trouble with headphones right
you
now.
are? Oh, yes, because
They won't
the
stay
hat.
on, yeah.
That's okay.
I might just have to hold my hands like this.
Well, no, you actually you can just take them off and just listen to me this way. How's
Okay,
that?
all
How's
right.
that? Okay.
Well, this
But
is okay.
yeah, and I'd like you to introduce the beautiful woman that's sitting to your right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful woman sitting to my right is no other than DJ AC, a.k.a. Angel Courtney, also known as my wife.
So excited to be here.
So excited to have you. You are beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and I got to meet both of you on the steps of the Disney Hall. Peace in
right.
and peace out to two people, Ryan Long, City Gala, and your brother,
Eden.
who
That's right.
helped put together a smashing event that I got to be on the red carpet interviewing Quincy Jones, John Travolta, Halle Berry, and Corey Feldman.
Wow.
And
I didn't even know all those people were there.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, well, they were.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, I knew John Travolta was there because he was being honored and Quincy was there, but I didn't know Halle Berry was there.
Yeah, she was there actually the day before when they do like a business summit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He told me about the summit, my brother.
Yeah,
My brother's now working with us as the production manager on my tour.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous. And we sat down at another event, Greg Reed's event, and I was having dinner with Ryan, and he said, "Why don't you have Corey on the show?" And I said, "Well, I actually asked him on the show." So he goes, "Eden, come over here and we'll make that happen." So
Right.
peace in and peace out to Eden as well.
Great minds think alike.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the first thing I'd like to do is take a breath, because I went and did some research and I'd forgotten a lot of the things that have happened in your very young 4 decades of life. You've been through a lot.
A few things, yeah. I've had a few experiences.
Yes, you have. Yeah. I had forgotten, that you basically were loving yourself and acting on your own behalf very early, emancipating from your parents, and that whole helped other people sort of take care of themselves.
Inspiration.
Yeah. You took something that was not fun,
Right.
kind of dark.
Very,
and
very dark.
Very dark.
Very dark.
How's that relationship? Are you at all?
There is none.
There is no
No.
relationship. Okay.
And that's not because I don't believe in repairing things or forgiveness or anything like that, but I've tried it all. But when you're dealing with somebody that's not mentally well,
Right.
you can't fix not well.
Yeah.
You can only fix, fixable, right? So
Right.
they just, spiritually are not
Where
able
they
to
are.
find that.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I tried forgiveness and then tried, coping with it and dealing with it and everything I could until the time that I wrote my book, which, of course, was a very cathartic experience. And at that point, I basically said to both of them, look, if you do this the right way, we can continue having a relationship, which would be, of course, either supporting me or just saying nothing at all. But if you say something negative, then I have to let you go because I'm writing only the truth.
Yeah.
And I actually gave my mom the book 6 months in advance and said, if there's anything in there that you choose to argue or have a problem with or take issue with, let me know in advance, and I can discuss it with you. And if there's something that you really feel strongly about, I'll consider taking it out. But I gave it to her on a tablet, and we had lunch. And then, I said, and I laid it out. And I said, but just so you understand, if you go against me at this point, then that's it, because it's going to make you look really bad, because I'm just telling the truth.
Right.
And she, of course, came out and spoke to, one of the tabloid TV shows and said, oh, no, it's all lies. And he had a ghostwriter and, his brain's probably messed up from all those years when he abused himself. Like, no, mother, that was 2 years versus the 50 years you've abused yourself.
Right.
So let's not get it twisted.
Yeah. But I like the, love from afar kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it's
know,
just,
it's,
I don't have any anger or resentment. It's just, I can't allow myself to be inflicted with pain.
Yeah.
You know, because that's not fair to my current young family that I choose to keep moving forward. You know what I mean? Like if I get stuck in the past, then I'm not loving myself. So
Absolutely.
that's just not the right way to go.
Yeah. And you said something to me in that interview on the steps that really I said, I think if you remember, it's like, wait a minute, this is the stuff that I talk about. Are you reading my mind?
Just a spiritualist.
Yes. Yeah. And I love the fact that, gratitude's important to you, sort of
Absolutely.
not living in the past pain, not living in the future fear, focusing on the present.
I wake up happy every day.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's more interview with Corey and Courtney when we come back here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere here on the #1 talk news station in the Inland Empire, as well as the #1 show at 8 a.m. in the Inland Empire. And I'm told that I'm only #2 in Southern California to Bill Handel. So I'm super grateful for that. And of course, so many great people here at the station, including Stephanie Miller, nationally syndicated, and my friend Sheila Mack. So keep it tuned here for interesting talk and the news. And as promised, we're returning to my spotlight interview with the iconic actor, Corey Feldman, and his beautiful wife, Courtney. Enjoy.
I mean, unless there's a crisis going on or something terrible. But yeah, I think that's the most important thing, is to wake up grateful. If I always give this advice to people. People say, my life's going so bad. I've got so much drama, so many bad things happening to me. And I go, you know what? Here's the key. The key is, remember that negative energy begets negative energy, and positive energy attracts positive energy.
Yep.
So you can have anything in abundance that you want to based on your mindset and your belief system. Courtney actually taught me a lot about this as well because she introduced me to the book The Secret. Which, she'd been studying. But, I had already believed all these philosophies anyway, but there were also some new tricks that I learned from it. But, the point being that we can accumulate any massive energy that we choose based on what our output is. And as long as our output is on the positive side, we're going to get positive feedback.
Yep.
However, if we sit there and dwell on problems, you ever notice how, like, if you have a bad day and something goes wrong, then you focus on it and you're like, oh my God, that was so terrible. I can't believe how terrible.
Right.
And then all of a sudden something else bad happens. And then something else and something else. And you're just like, when will it ever stop? Well, that is because you yourself are drawing that to you. Whereas if you see a negative issue come up and you let it go, like, oh, well, that happened. Okay, next. Now what are we going to do? What's the solution?
Yeah.
And you get right into the solution, all of a sudden more positive things come at you. Because in the same vein, when a positive thing happens, if you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, that's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? So, Courtney, we have to thank you to actually get that path going with The Secret, and something that you may know or not know. My big brother is actually the founder of Agape, who was one of the teachers
Really?
on The Secret.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Yay.
Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith is my big brother. He calls me little sister. He's the
Aw.
one who named me the Asian Oprah and introduced me to Oprah as the Asian Oprah. So, hey, big brother. And I told him that you were coming on the air. I don't think he knew about this connection.
No, he didn't.
But
'Cause we
he
haven't
said
met
to
him yet.
say hello. Well, you will be meeting him as soon as you
That's
come
one of
back from
Courtney's-
tour.
One of Courtney's,
He's an
goals.
inspiration.
Oh.
Yeah, she's wanted to meet him for a long time.
Well,
Matter of
we'll
fact,
make that
we
happen
went to
for
Agape and listened to his sermon.
And you didn't go to meet him?
Well,
Well, there was a big line.
No,
Yep.
yeah,
If we had known you were there, we would have made it. So next time,
I'm
just let me
very
know.
shy, very shy.
Are you being sarcastic?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. No, I'm like one of the I'm one of the shyest people you'll ever
Really?
meet. Yeah.
You know what's weird is I say that too, but I'm saying it because sarcasm is another service I offer. But you do not seem shy because you
'Cause I'm
just
out there.
put yourself out there
Yeah.
all the time.
Well, when it comes to media,
Mm-hmm.
film, stage, television, I come alive.
Right.
Because that's my job. I'm programmed that way. But that said, when I'm in public, there's nothing I can't. I just get so embarrassed when people come up to me, and I really am very bad with meeting strangers. And I mean, I'm nice to everybody. I
Sure,
just
it's not comfortable for
Yeah,
you.
I'd rather
make
hide
it
in the corner.
You make it look comfortable,
Right.
But you're not as. I call them introverts who have learned how to operate in an extroverted world.
Right. Well, see, for me, it's even
So-
more messed up than that because I was an extrovert as a kid, but through the force of being famous, I've been beaten into a corner a bit. So therefore, I became an introvert based on the world,
Circumstance
the
and
world that I live
experience.
in.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then, it's gone kind of the other way. Now I have to retrain myself. Okay, come on, you can do this. You can do this. Like if I go to, that's why you don't see me at Hollywood parties. You never see me unless it's a charitable thing.
Right, like when you were at City Gala,
or like a private friends event. I don't go.
Okay.
You don't see me on red carpets much. You don't see me at premieres and all that kind of stuff because
Right.
I get so terribly shy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well.
But Courtney, introduced me to, The Secret, and she told me all about Michael, and so we went to see him and listened to his speech, and I was like really wanted to go, but people started recognizing me, and I was like, okay, we're gonna have to duck out.
Yeah. Well, next
Yeah.
time we'll take care of that. But
Okay.
you're welcome anytime. I'm actually on faculty there, so you can come
Oh,
to
great.
one of my balanced Tai Chi Gong classes.
Oh,
How's that?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I would love to have you.
Yeah,
in
we would
class.
love that.
Yeah,
I love it too.
That's fabulous. So you got launched, right? You were doing, what were you doing, and how did you guys meet?
Well, we actually met at the Playboy Mansion.
Ironically.
And yeah, I don't know. I was just a model and not really sure where I was going. And yeah, Corey helped me just, get some confidence in myself and just really get some direction in life and help me develop into what I'm doing now, which is with the band and pianist and singer and DJ and all of that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So was it love at first sight?
Yes. I mean, not love, that takes time to develop, being in love. But yes, I thought she was gorgeous, of course,
And
immediately.
she is. Yes.
And when I met her, at the time, I was at a very different place in my life. I had just gone through a big divorce, and I was definitely not ready for anything serious. And I was there with, 10 girls. I would go, to these parties, and I'd bring a limo full of 10 girls because I always felt like if I'm going to Hef's house, I need to bring something to the table as opposed to being one of those guys that's trying to pull away,
Oh, it's from a giving place that you did that.
Yes, of course.
I see.
So I would say, okay, here you go. Let me, bring some beauty to your beautiful party and stuff like that. But anyway, it was more for the girls really because they all wanted so badly to meet him and to be there. And it was such a big thing.
Yeah.
And then I said, I started looking at it. And really, this was the basis of Corey's Angels beginning because I realized all these girls wanted so desperately to do something that was really subservient and really demoralizing at the end of the day, which led to nothing.
Right.
Not that doing Playboy itself was a bad thing. When Hef was in charge, it was a great thing because he treated them like, he was a gentleman always.
Yeah.
But that said, in the end, they thought, okay, I could be the next Pamela Anderson, or I could be the next Farrah Fawcett, or I could be the next, one of the few success stories that there were. And I'm looking at the odds going, yeah, but that's like 5 people out of, hundreds.
5 million. Yeah.
That have gone through the doors and not been successful.
Right.
So the odds didn't look very good to me. And then I'm also thinking like, some of these girls would talk to me about their talents and they'd say, I've got this, I've got that, I can do this, I can do that. I said, well, what are you doing with it?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. I just want to be a model and da-da-da-da-da. I was like, no. You can do so much more. Show your talent. Yeah, but people don't take me seriously. Why not? Well, because I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, what does that mean?
Right.
It's, they try to sleep with me or they try to do this or they try to do... And I said, this has got to stop.
Right.
So that's where I started.
And you know that from
Corey's
first
Angels.
experience.
Of course.
Yes. Yeah.
So I started Corey's Angels based on the fact that I knew that these girls needed to reinvent themselves and have confidence and believe in themselves in their art and what they had to express. So with Courtney, I met her there. She comes up to me and says, can I take a picture? I said, of course. So we took a picture together and I said, what are you doing? She said, well, I don't know. I'm just getting ready to leave. And I said, well, where are you going? She said, I don't know, probably back to my hotel. And I said, who are you here with? And she said, nobody. And I said, well, where are you from? And she said, from Canada. And I said, wait a minute, you came here all the way from Canada by yourself? And she said, yeah. I said, that takes some big cojones.
Yeah.
To fly all the way to Beverly Hills to go to the Playboy Mansion by yourself.
Right.
Okay, so you're going to have to come with us.
Yeah.
So she came with us. And then she ended up she's also very shy. So she ends up locking herself in the room the whole night. And I don't know what's going on. I come in and I check on her. Are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm just looking for taxis. I said, what? I thought you were coming to hang out. She said, well, I got to get to my plane. I have a plane at 6 a.m. And it was like 3 in the morning and I got to go. And I was like, oh no, but, and she's like, plus I didn't want to offend any of your girls because I didn't know if, one of them's your girlfriend. I said, look, I just got out of a marriage. It's not like that. We're all friends, but if you want to, hang out sometime, let's stay in touch. And so we did. And the rest is history. Aww. It took about 1.5 years, though, before we actually got together.
1.5 years of getting to know each
courtship.
other. Of court, very cute, very cute.
I shipped her out after about 1 year.
Okay, now I want to know
her side of the story.
Because there's always two sides. I'm just kidding. I'm sure that was pretty accurate. But if you've just tuned in, You are listening to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. And today I am blessed to have a very famous and beautiful inside and out man with me. And he is here with his beautiful wife. And this is Corey Feldman. Those of you who are like, why does that name sound familiar? I'm sure you saw the Gremlins and the Goonies and Stand By Me. Very successful actor who
There's
is
about
now
100 of them.
There's 100 movies?
Yeah.
Wow. And then now he is pursuing something that is his true love, from what I understand from your publicist, Sammy, and that is the music and the singing. And Courtney is also part of that band. An aside, where in Canada? Because I was born in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario.
Oh, wow. I was born in Kelowna, British Columbia.
So on the other side. That's
Yes.
cool. Yay, Canada.
Yay.
That's beautiful. So you've been married how long?
Since November.
Yeah,
That's
we're newlyweds.
yesterday?
Yeah, we're newlyweds.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But,
That's
but we've been
that's
together
great.
for 5 years now.
5 years. Okay, so all this was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And then she brought you to the law of attraction and the power of intentions and the positive power of gratitude and appreciation.
Well, I was there already, but it was more about learning manifestation.
Okay.
That's really the part that she got me into, because
Okay.
I was always about law of attraction. I was always about positive energy and putting it out there and getting it back and receiving and giving and grateful and all of that.
Right, right.
It's more that she said, look, if you want these bad things to stop happening to you and you want good things to be in abundance, then you need to believe in abundance. And that is so important. You need to wake up every day and, say what you want in your life. Don't talk about, because, I would dwell in it. I'd sit there and go, oh,
Yeah.
God, this is going on and that's going on. And she'd say, stop talking about that. Talk about what you want to happen, materialize, manifest.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And that's when she showed me the book, and she would play the, oh my God.
The audiobook.
She would,
Over and
make
over
him
and
listen
over.
to
she would she would just leave it on all day, every day. And then she would start getting, she'd get in these dark moods, we call them, or she'd start, focusing on all this negativity. I'd be like, excuse me, hello,
Yeah.
Miss Advice, take your own advice,
Yeah. I know what that's all about.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
don't focus on the negative now. That's not going to help anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so important. I think that one of the things that I love about my show and what I do is I'm trying to balance out all of the negative things that come across your eyes, your what you read on TV, in anywhere, and just really focus on what the good is, what the positive sides. There's 10 things and 9 are negative and only 1 is positive. You can still create a bubble of positivity by focusing on that one positive.
That's right.
And I've watched you do this. Obviously the Today Show was an opportunity for you to expand and grow and develop that positive side of yourself.
Oh, did it? Talk about being faced with a challenge.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
succumbing to that challenge.
Yeah.
Because it was defining. It was historical.
Yeah.
It literally was historical.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened there cannot be explained. It
No,
was
I was
a
shocked.
phenomenon. I mean,
was
it was the most negative response I've ever seen to any
Yeah.
performance anywhere.
Yeah.
And then it was an abundance of love.
Yes.
To the point that I was overwhelmed. I mean, 250 million views in 1 week. We made history.
Yeah.
It's never happened from a
Right.
Today Show performance,
Right.
ever.
Right.
So that was like, okay. And even on the show itself, it got the most views. And on todayshow.com, it got the, I mean, it was
They
just
love
like,
you.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So Courtney, tell me what in you gave you the cojones in the first place? Like, what was it? Was there a voice in you that said, I want something, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm going to get on a plane and fly into Hollywood? Walk me through that. For young women who have dreams, right? They're afraid, you're shy. So, I mean, that was a big step. How did you get to that?
I think, in Canada, there's not a lot of opportunity for,
That's why we're here.
Yeah, becoming, an artist. And I just felt like, I have one life, I might as well make the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I've got nothing to lose, so...
Were you already practicing The Secret at that point?
Yeah.
Okay, so therein lies the answer, right?
Yes.
It was the power of intention and attraction that gave you the cojones.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you had a vision. So then you came here. Did you ever feel like, were you all self about this, marrying Corey, kind of getting launched into the limelight with him?
I mean, everybody has doubts, like, but, no, I feel like, I don't know, everything's going good so far. So, I just keep with the faith.
I think she wants to hear about the struggle that you had internally in the beginning when you came out here. Talk about it.
Oh, well, I definitely had to, like, fight myself, like, because I had so much doubt and, like, fear in my mind that, I was like, I can't do this. And like, it would be like, sometimes like a daily struggle in the beginning.
Right.
Where I was like, I should just go back to Canada, and, live my regular life or whatever. And I don't know if I can
Selling
do this.
herself short.
Yeah.
Is what it was about.
Yeah.
Every time, we would start making progress. And like, you can tell her about the meltdowns and how that's changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like before shows
Yeah. Before everything, every shoot, everything, right?
Yeah, I would have like these meltdowns where I'd get like so afraid, like debilitatingly afraid, and like start crying and stuff like that. And I'd be like, I don't know if I can do this, or it was silly. I know it's silly.
Yeah, but it's real. I
Yeah.
mean, you're shy, an introvert, and the work that he's doing is not in the background. It's very much in the foreground, so it's understandable. So what happened? Would you say what happened? Did you wake up one morning and then realize this was silly, or was it a habit that you kept working at over and over until it became in the background?
It was like a habit that I had to, and like I started praying too, because I wasn't praying before at all, I didn't have a lot of faith.
Okay.
So I think I just like worked on that as much as possible, and then he just influenced me. So I just like, kind of like clung to him and
I
like
got her
what
on her
he was
knees.
doing.
Got her on her knees.
I don't want to go there.
No. I told her you got to get on your knees every night. You got to pray. You got to do it every night before we go to bed.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, I haven't done that in a long time. I was like, got to do it.
Yeah.
And you got to wake up every day and make a grateful list.
Yeah.
Remember why you're here. Be grateful. I said, do you like it here, or do you want to go back to Canada and give up?
Yeah.
And she says, no, I don't want to let myself do that. I don't want to let myself do that. I want to be here more than anything. I'm so happy here. I said, well, then you need to remember that.
Yeah.
Because in times where your brain tells you you're not, that's your dark side trying to convince you.
It's a lie. It's the liar.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, don't give in to that, because if you do, I will eventually believe you.
Yeah.
If you keep doing this, then I'm going to think, well, maybe she wants to be there instead of here, and I'll just give up, because I'm not going to ever keep somebody against their will.
Right.
If you don't want to be here, if you don't have what it takes, that's okay.
Yeah.
And she said, well, no, that's not it. I said, well, then you need to wake up every day and make a grateful list and tell God why you're grateful for the things that you have. And she said, well, what's a grateful list? I said, a grateful list is anything that you can think of to be grateful for.
Yeah.
And then she started, and now that's the advice she gives to everybody, right?
That's great.
It's
What was
important.
your gratitude list this morning?
I was just, happy to be here and, talk to somebody spiritual that gets it, and hear what you had to say. And
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's great. So we actually have fabulous giveaways for the Asian Oprah giveaway today.
Woo-hoo!
Thanks to Corey. We've got 2 tickets.
That's right.
To which show? Any show?
Any show.
So name the places. Not all of them.
Well,
but
they can go to my website.
Okay, good.
AngelicToTheCore.com. And that's with the number 2. So angelic number 2.
Just like my 4 balance.
Yes, thecore.com. And so if you go to that website or CoreyFeldman.net, either one, we have the list of tour dates.
Perfect.
And the way it works is if you happen to see a show in your area, then you should probably do the contest. If you don't see a show in your area, maybe you can drive to one that's close by or fly to one. That's up to you.
Yes.
But if you don't see anything that works out, then you probably shouldn't enter that contest.
Yes,
'cause,
absolutely. So just go to drmarissa.tv on my contact, put Corey, want to see Corey, and then whoever's first to do that will get those pair of tickets.
Woo-hoo.
Yes.
And then we also have a digital version of my CD. It's
Perfect.
a double album, but nowadays you can just digitally download
Yep.
it. So I'm going to give you a digital download card, which I will sign, and then it can be sent to the winner as well.
Perfect. So the first person on my Facebook to give me the finger on Dr. Marissa and then message me that you did that, thumbs up, then they will get the digital download of the music. So 2 ways to win on today's Asian Oprah giveaway. The last question that I always ask my guests is, who are you grateful to that sort of helped you here? So who are you grateful to that helped make you who you are now, that you're grateful to?
God?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good enough answer?
That is. So let me ask you a question. When you were going through all the dark stuff, did you have this faith?
Yep.
Yeah? So you
It's the only
knew...
thing that got me through my childhood.
Okay.
I was basically a slave. I was a child slave. So, I was forced to work against my will. I was beaten. I was, every type of abuse, mental, physical. I mean,
Did you ever say, if there's a God, why am I going through
Of course.
this?
And I tried to kill myself many times as a child. As a matter of fact, it's all in my book. But, the point is that I literally would, I stole a gun from my grandfather's chest drawer and I held it to my head. It was loaded. I would cock the trigger. I would point it to my brain and I would beg God to give me the strength to pull the trigger.
Wow.
I would say, please give me the strength. I'm so ugly. I'm so fat. Nobody loves me. I have no reason to be here. Why did you put me here? Just please get me out of here,
Yeah.
And I would try so hard to push that trigger and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And then I would break down crying and say, well, thanks a lot, And
So-
then it turns out he was right.
Yeah.
Of course, I was
Yeah.
wrong. I'm still
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. And
So-
you are, and I'm going to give you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award.
Oh, God bless you.
Because this is the kind of guest that I want to highlight who just, has been through so much and yet doesn't go away, takes what he has had as an experience and tries to turn it into the light.
Because you know what? We don't decide when we check out. God decides when we check out. So therefore, we have to do our best to keep it positive, influence others for positive, and change the world to make it a better place for us all to inhabit together. Every day we're here.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
what is the point?
Right. Absolutely.
And I hope you enjoyed that interview with the iconic actor Corey Feldman and his beautiful wife Courtney. There's more where that came from on my YouTube channel. Just free subscribe there, and you'll help me make my 250,000 views, which is only, I think, 10 or 12,000 away. I've got 238,000 now, but who's counting? But I hope you enjoyed this, the 572nd consecutive show with Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, reporting live from her living room during the pandemic. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. And have the best day ever.